We venture towards the border, that delicate line that separates Haiti from the Dominican Republic. It's a unique border, a true island within an island. The Dominican Republic is not an island in itself, but Haiti isn't either, because between them unfolds a complex border stretching nearly 380 kilometers. This border symbolizes a division, a separation between two territories, two nations. What intrigues us today is to understand what this border truly represents. Why does this striking contrast exist? What lessons can we draw from it? The Dominican Republic, with its 10.5 million inhabitants and 48,000 square kilometers of territory, boasts a gross domestic product, GDP, 10 times higher than Haiti. The latter, with its 11 million inhabitants and 27,750 square kilometers of territory, struggles to reach a GDP of only $800 per year per capita, placing it among the least developed countries in the world. What is the significance of this contrast? What does it tell us about the complex reality of these two nations? This is where history comes into play. This border is the result of the legacy of French and Spanish colonization of this territory. But it goes far beyond that. The elites on both sides of the border have contributed to shaping this division, turning it into a veritable wall. Recently, the Dominican Republic has even embarked on the construction of a barrier spanning over 160 kilometers along this border, symbolically marking its desire to distance itself from its neighbor. To understand this fervent desire for division, we must trace back to the history of the island's discovery in 1492 by the Spaniards, even though the island was already organized into kingdoms at the time. Spanish colonization was a catastrophe for the Taino population and their civilization. Subsequently, the French, primarily pirates driven out of St. Kitts by the English, began to settle on Tortuga Island, gradually expanding onto the mainland. In the 17th century, France and Spain clashed for control of this strategic point on the route of galleons between Spain and Latin America. The French managed to secure the western third of the island in 1697, while the Spaniards retained the remaining three-quarters. For a time, the two colonies experienced surprising complementarity, with the Spanish colony supplying livestock and leather products to the French colony of Saint-Domingue, while the latter developed a sugar-based economy reliant on slavery. However, Haiti's independence in 1804 marked a profound rupture, as the Haitians attempted to annex the Dominican Republic, creating deep narrative and historical differences between the two nations. Today, despite a highly integrated economy, both sides of the border display glaring contrasts. The Dominican Republic has become the primary provider of food to Haiti, while Haitian exports to its neighbor are minimal in comparison. This border, once a centrifugal obstacle, has now become the central point of a complex relationship between the two nations, a zone where Haitians and Dominicans coexist despite their differences. Speaking of coexistence, an intense feud between the Dominican Republic and Haiti has become the symbol of a fiery conflict that threatens to boil over at any moment.
Jusqu'à ce que nous faiblions, nous avons mis tant la caille nous.
Dominicains comprennent, ils sont capables de prendre pays, ils sont capables de prendre pays d'Haïti tant comme nous c'est colonie, nous pas colonie. Et nous avons bien pour nous pas répondre. canal ça, gardez bien pour la rivière. Il rentre et puis il ferme avec barrage que vous fait. Or, gardez, or, dit puis gardez vieux de loi. Ils ont violé la loi et puis nous qui avons compris, ils ont dit c'est nous qui violons.
It all began in 2021 when the Dominican government raised vehement protests against the construction of a dam on the Massacre River. The situation escalated in September 2023 when civil society organizations decided to resume construction despite Dominican objections. This prompted the Dominican government to take retaliatory measures against Haiti and its citizens. It all began in August 2018 when Haiti embarked on the construction of an irrigation system powered by the waters of the Massacre River. This ambitious project aimed to control the river's floods while irrigating over 3,000 hectares of fertile land in the Brink plain. The Cuban company Dinvi was tasked with the construction since June 2019. The technical specifications of the project were impressive, with 2.6 kilometers of canal to be connected to a restored old colonial canal called Tro-Plen. The planned water flow for irrigation was 1.50 cubic meters per second, with gates measuring 1.50 meters wide. However, this colossal enterprise raised concerns among Dominican authorities and certain civil society groups, especially those affiliated with anti-Haitian nationalist far-right factions. Dominicans argued that the project could potentially reduce the river's flow, thereby jeopardizing the water supply. Moreover, they feared that the project could endanger aquatic and terrestrial ecosystems downstream. The conflict took a serious turn on April 26, 2021, when Dominican soldiers from the Specialized Land Border Security Corps, CESFRONT, crossed into Haitian territory to intimidate workers and halt the construction. An initial meeting was convened on April 27 in the office of the governor of the Dajabon province, with the presence of Haiti's ambassador to Santo Domingo, Professor Smith Augustine, in an attempt to find a concerted solution. Unfortunately, this meeting failed to resolve the dispute. Faced with the impasse, both states summoned a formal meeting of the Bilateral Joint Commission on May 27, 2021, at the Dominican Foreign Ministry in Santo Domingo. The foreign ministers of both countries delivered opening speeches, and at the end of the meeting, the technical secretaries of the Joint Commission signed a joint declaration acknowledging that the ongoing project did not constitute a deviation of the Massacre River. They called for the establishment of a binational technical committee to address all issues related to the management of transboundary watercourses. Work resumed on the Haitian side, but it came to a halt with the death of President Jovenel Moïse. In August 2023, farmers from Ferrier and Wanamint, facing a water shortage for irrigating their lands in the Brink plain, decided to continue the work, which was already 60% complete according to technicians. This initiative ignited the wrath of the Dominican government, which imposed retaliatory measures to force Haitians to cease the work. The legal status of the Massacre River under international law is at the core of this dispute. According to the United Nations Convention on the Law of Non-Navigational Uses of International Watercourses of 1997, the Massacre River is an international watercourse, shared by two states. The river originates in the Dominican Central Highlands, but it serves as the border between the two countries before flowing into the sea. Its average flow rate is 5.34 cubic meters per second, and its basin covers 150 square kilometers in Haiti and 230 square kilometers in the Dominican Republic. Although Haiti and the Dominican Republic are not parties to the 1997 convention, the general principles of law outlined therein are applicable to their situation. These principles include the equitable and reasonable utilization of shared water resources, the principle of not causing harm to the watercourse, cooperation among riparian states, and the sharing of information. Furthermore, the bilateral treaties concluded between the two states such as the Treaty of Peace, Friendship, and Arbitration of 1929 and the Agreement of Friendship, Perpetual Peace, and Arbitration of 1935, contain provisions on the equitable use of transboundary water resources. These agreements stipulate that states must ensure that the watercourse is not diverted from its natural course or its flow altered, while allowing for equitable use for irrigation and other agricultural and industrial needs.
Despite the border closure and opposition from the Dominican Republic, Haiti remains committed to moving forward with the disputed canal project. Haiti's government didn't immediately react to the move on Thursday, but Haiti's former foreign minister, Claude Joseph, has said that bilateral talks in 2021 established that irrigation plans along the river didn't violate international treaties. Haitians stated they will not halt construction on the canal near the Massacreriver, just asserting it is vital for alleviating drought conditions in the region. Haitian workers and engineers kept working on the canal amid the tense border situation, ignoring demands from the Dominican Republic to immediately stop. The bold stance taken by Haiti signals an unwillingness to back down in the escalating dispute, regardless of actions taken by the Dominican Republic. While the Haitian government hasn't provided financial backing for the canal, Haitian citizens have united behind the effort. With the project relying largely on volunteer labor and donated supplies, Haitians from across the country have rallied to continue construction. This is bigger than politics. This is about our people banding together in a time of great need, said a Haitian community organizer working on the canal. We won't let external pressure stop us from doing what's right for our communities suffering from this drought. This grassroots mobilization highlights the resolve of the Haitian people to see the project through, with or without significant support from officials.